Um, all right, guys. So, if we could say talk about some sort of dot point form, bullet points, key issues that are at the forefront of your campaign that you are both committed to tackling during the campaign and after election, what are they?
NDIS, massive issue. I think it's $39 billion is going into that at the moment. There's 500,000 recipients. They're not being looked after appropriately. It's a big issue. I think we've got to build a hybrid of the Bradfield scheme for Australia to drought-proof this country. The economy will just flow on. The results from that, I probably won't see it all in my lifetime, but for decades and decades to come, prosperity will be created by that alone. We've been dictated by the UN. I think we've got to walk away from the UN, the World Health Organization. These are bodies that have really got nothing to do with us whatsoever, and they've been giving us extremely bad advice. We've been spending a lot of money. I think the money that we are sending overseas for overseas aid could be utilised in Australia. I think we need to start taxing multinationals, as Rebecca touched on before. And I think procurement in Australia, when the government procures anything, they pay about 30% more than the average business does. So, there's roughly a 30% shaving there to be made that could go back into public housing, going back into caring for those people who have been injured by vaccines. We need a broom to go through the government to deliver really, really positive outcomes. And I think you've got a couple that you'd like to talk about with ports and so on.
Yeah, I'd really like to see mini ports put all around the fringe of Australia. We are young and free. We are girt by sea. In England, there is a mini port every 15 either kilometres or miles. In Australia, there is a port every 750 kilometres. If we are girt by sea, why are we wanting to spend billions of dollars in taxpayer money putting ugly railroads all over the country? The Aboriginal community are totally in favour of mini ports. Shipping is cleaner and better for the environment. It is better for logistics. It reduces fatalities on the roads. It reduces traffic. It also brings a lot of jobs. It also brings affordable housing, and it also decreases populations in cities. It actually ticks all the boxes that the Greens Party should be looking at. They should be rejoicing about the mini ports idea, but they're not. They're putting green tape in saying that it's not good for the environment, and yet they're willing to stand by and see railways put all over Australia so that we can have safe cities and logistics that way. I am absolutely not in favour of that kind of thing, and so I will be pushing very, very hard for mini ports. There's already a policy drawn up. There's already shipping companies ready to go who have been campaigning for years to try and get this through. That's how we solve our employment crisis. That's how we solve our housing crisis. That's how we solve our environmental issues for people who are caring about the environment. It's a win-win-win situation. There's many more policies that I could go on to, but they'll be on our website.
Cheap water, cheap energy, and we get all the Australian people back working together, and we've got to destroy segregation. Apartheid is not welcome in our country. They didn't like it in Africa, not good enough for them, definitely not good enough for us. I want to see those nurses back at work, teachers back at work, people in the Catholic Church. Unbelievable. I was born baptised a Catholic, and I am so disappointed in the Catholic Church of the way that they treated their own priest, let alone the congregation. If you're not immunised, you can't be a priest. That's pretty scary stuff.
Yeah.
Voting is easy when you know how. Just look for the letter H to vote for Steve Dixon and Rebecca Lloyd. Let's do this together, Queensland. Written and authorised by Rebecca Lloyd, Brisbane, Queensland.